we'll be going over the IRS Interactive Tax Assistant that helps taxpayers determine whether or not an inheritance is considered taxable income. So, in general, most property that is inherited is not considered taxable. However, there are some exceptions, and it's important to recognize that. So this tax tool will help you do just that. It's going to take about 5 minutes, roughly, according to the Interactive Tax Assistant. So let's go ahead and begin. So we'll hit the continue button. Now, at the time of this recording, the 2023 tax year information is not available. So we're going to select the most recent tax year that we can go through. So the first question, did you inherit your money from or assets from foreign sources? Let's say no. What kind of property did you inherit? So did you inherit cash, investments, property, a retirement plan? So let's just say you inherited cash. So cash is not taxable. However, if you do receive cash and it later produces income like interest, or if you invest in something that then produces income, that income would be taxable to you. Let's select stocks or bonds. So the stocks or bonds that you inherited are not includable in taxable income. And furthermore, any stocks that you inherited may warrant what's considered to be a step up in tax basis. So in other words, you would inherit stocks or shares of mutual funds at a cost basis equal to the price on the person's date of death. For example, a common example would be inheriting shares of stock from a grandparent. So let's say that your grandfather died on June 1st, and the shares of stock that they purchased, back in the day for $10 a share are now worth $500 a share as of June 1st. When you inherit that stock, you would inherit it, and your cost basis would be $500. So if you sold that stock for $500, you would pay no tax on the sale of the stock, as opposed to if your grandfather had tried to sell the stock at $500, they would pay tax on the difference between the $500 and the $10 that was their basis. Let's talk about property that you might have inherited. So that's not included in your income. Again, any income that's produced from that inheritance may be taxable down the line. Income that is distributed from a trust or an estate. So that's beyond this tax tool. You would need to refer to the instructions on Schedule K1, which would be what reports your whatever you received, either from an estate or a trust, for a beneficiary filing Form 1040. So you would need to refer to the Schedule K1 instructions, because that type of inheritance is beyond the scope of this interactive tax tool. Let's go through an annuity or a retirement plan. So you would then have to go under retirement plans, pensions, IRAs. In general, anything that was in a pre-tax account or anything that is considered pre-tax in a retirement plan, so like a traditional IRA, that would be taxable. Any non-deductible IRA, generally, if it wasn't taxable to the person that originally owned it, that portion would not be taxable to you. However, any of the earnings within that non-deductible IRA would be considered taxable. And for a Roth IRA, that generally would not be considered taxable income to you. For an annuities, there's a little bit more complexity to that, and you can find a little bit more information in a different interactive tax assistant tool. So what if we did inherit something from a foreign source? Then you would go through a similar calculation. You would need to, so it would say that um, if you inherit property or cash from a foreign source, you would need to refer to Publication 525, and you would need to possibly read the instructions on the IRS Form 3520, which is the annual return to report transactions with foreign trusts and specifically the receipt of certain foreign gifts. So again, we can go through any of these examples. It's going to say the same thing. One thing that I would always recommend is that whenever you get to the point where you're going to report the inheritance of something, let's just say that we're going through and you inherited a bunch of stocks. I would print this out basically to keep it in your tax records. First, you would make sure that you are, reporting the information properly. So you're reviewing this review screen just to make sure that the answers that you correctly answered each question the way you originally intended. And this is an opportunity for you to go back and correct any answers that you might have misentered. In this situation, it's a little bit simpler. It's 2 questions. But then I would also print that and keep it in your records in case this comes up in a future examination. So, if you are examined by the IRS down the line and you have documentation such as this, it doesn't mean you get out of a tax liability, and this certainly is not legal or tax advice. However, if an examiner finds an honest mistake and you're able to show them what you did, then you'll probably receive a different treatment than if you just reported a bunch of numbers and you don't have any documentation to back up what you were thinking when you filed your tax return. So this won't prevent you from paying any tax that you should have paid with your original filing. What it may do is help mitigate or lower the chances that you'll be assessed an accuracy-based penalty or a negligence penalty for just wanton disregard of tax considerations when filing your tax return. So there were a couple of things that we discussed in this. I'll put links to those in the show notes. And that's basically all that we have for this interactive tax tool. This one's a pretty quick one. Please check out our library of other videos where we, under IRS resources, where we go through various interactive tax assistant tools from the IRS website. So we'll put links to any articles that based on forms that we referred to in the show notes. We'll put a link to this tax assistant tool in the show notes as well. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or comments, as always, please post them in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.